एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जुनी सैभ अंगुर प्रसाद जप आज सच जुगाद सच है पी सच नानक होसी पी सच एक उदती गुरु नानक देवा ओंकार गुरु अंगद पेवा सतनाम गुरु अमर प्यारे करता रामदास गुरबारी पुरख श्री अर्जन सुखदानी निरभव हर गोबिंद गुण खानी निर्वैर गुरु है श्री हर राय काल मूर्त हर कृष्ण त्याय अजूनी तेग बहादुर राय सैपंग गुर दसमें सहाय गुर प्रसाद ग्रंथ गुर ज्ञाना वाहि गुरु बंदन भगवान बाणी गुरु गुरु है बाणी विच बाणियों में सारे गुरबानी कह सेवक जन माने परतक गुरु निस्तारे मुँह को चय शास्त्र काट पिंकरन छड़ जाए अंध लिखे बदरोस ने जो काल कृपा कराए कहा बुद्ध प्राप्त तो हमारी बन सके मैं जो हारी हम ना सकता सिर्फ तुम्हारी आप ले हो तुम कदा सराय दंडौत बंदन अकबार सर्व कला समर्थ ढोलन ते राखो प्रभु नानक दे कर हाथ सो कहो टल गुर सेविय निस सहज सभाय दर्शन परसिय गुरु के जन्म मरण दुख जाय दर्शन परसिय गुरु के जन्म मरण दुख जाय।
सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच।
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Guru Sat Sangat Ji, Vaheguru Ji Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Fateh. Guru Sat Sangat, we have gone through the Japji Sahib, we are continuing on at the moment. In the previous video, we went through the definitions for Sat, for Naam, and Karta. I think we have one arth left, one definition left of Karta. We'll continue on from there, then we're going to go through the definitions of Purakh. There are quite a few, so I think that this video is just going to cover the definitions of Purakh. And if we can go from there, Kamalpreet Singh.
Karta.
Karta. Last arth of Karta is that within all, God is the form of love. And it's that form of love that He is within everybody and is omnipresent within the whole of the universe. Jatar Tata Disa Visya Holfele Anurag, which within Jap Sahib, Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji states that wherever you see Jatar Tata, here or there, wherever you look, God is omnipresent, He is everywhere. And there isn't a place that He isn't. And it is because He is the form of love that He is Himself within His own creation. Nothing else is within its own creation. The closest they state you can elaborate or compare Karta to as a creator is a spider. God, they take that God is like the spider, where He is able to from Himself create. The spider from itself is able to create a web. The difference here is that God is like a spider. The spider is like God. The difference is that God resides within its own creation. The spider cannot reside within its own web. The spider remains separate to the web. God remains at the same time distinct and within creation. So those are the definitions of Karta.
Purakh.
Purakh. The basic definition of Purakh here is that God is complete within everybody and within everywhere. He is everywhere. Tu kar kar antar sarvangar antar ji. It states that He is everywhere. Har eko Purakh samana. God is everywhere. He is omnipresent. In the same way that Karta there states that God is omnipresent, here Purakh states that He is complete and He is omnipresent, He is everywhere. The second definition is that God is a Purakh. He is the person who gives justice. He is the only one who is seen as a male. All other beings within the universe, whether we consider ourselves males due to biology or genetics, or those people who consider themselves male mentally but they have a female body through transgender, through anything like that, you might consider yourself males, but according to religious philosophy, there is only one male, and that male is God. And everything else within creation is a female that is looking for that divine wedding, that bliss from that one God. So that's the second definition, that God is the only male. Eka Purakh Sabainar. So there is one male and all the others are females. So again, the third definition here is Purakh. Well, the third definition of Purakh, where we have to break up the word Purakh to Pu and Rakh. Pu. If you go into the Sanatan Mat, they give different levels of the underworld, or different levels of hell. If we're looking at in the Semitic faiths, it's hell. And different levels of hell. Like Dante's Divine Comedy, within there he gives the 7 levels of hell, and where different things are taking place, where different punishments are happening to different individuals. Within the Sanatan faith, it's the same. There are different underworlds based on what sins you have committed within this life. You will go there after this life and suffer punishments. And one of the names of the hell is Bu. And this definition is Rakh, Bu Rakh. God is the one who keeps you away, keeps you safe from the hell named Rakh. Basically, God is the one that keeps you away and saves you from going into the underworlds. So that's the third definition of Purakh. The fourth definition of Purakh is, again, we're going to break up the word. Last time we broke it up as Papa, Bu and Rakh. Now we're going to break it up to Pur and Ka. And what the term here is, Purakh here is separated into Pur, it means the Puriya, the different domains, the different, within, again, the Sanatan faith, it states that there are many other worlds, other heavens that you could go to, or other domains that you can go to, rather than the heavens. The Semitic faith talks about seven levels of heaven. Within the 7th level is where God stays. That's where Muhammad was allowed to go. Up to the 6th is where all the prophets are. Then he was asked to ascend to the 7th to go and speak with God before he came back down, according to his night travel, where he travelled on the back of a Purakh to Jerusalem, and then from Jerusalem went to heaven. Within the Sanatan faith, it states that there are different domains and levels. So you get Brahmpuri, which is the domain looked after by Brahma, Vishnupuri, where Vishnu rules, Shivpuri, where Shiv rules, Indrapuri, where Indra is, Kuberpuri, where Kuber is. Well, all the different deities have their own sort of place. And what it's stating here is Pur is the different domains that are created, and God is the one who creates them within the skies, within the ether. Ka here, it means Akash, that they've all been created and they're all omnipresent. All these different places have been created for different beings to live in. Again, the fifth definition here, Purakh, is, again, we look at Pur as Puriya, all the different domains, and Ke as the destroyer. God is the destroyer of all these different domains. He is the one that, even though he creates them as a Purakh, he's going to be the destroyer as well. He's the one that destroys all of these places. The sixth definition is Purusharth, which means that he is the pure being, the pure form. God is the pure form, Purush, and that's what he is. God is the pure form. There is no other. And that is the illumination, the divinity that one is trying to achieve. Seventh is Purakh. He is the one that gives an individual the ability to deliberate, the ability to separate what is right and wrong. Purakh, he is the one that gives a person that ability, that intellect, and provides that intellect, so that we know what is right and wrong. We know what is just and unjust. We know what is merciful and unmerciful. We know where there is piety and where there isn't. There are still boundaries within that, whether you look at the life of all human beings. Everybody has a separation in terms of what they consider to be right and wrong, well, what they consider to be morally correct and immorally correct. I'm one to talk. I'm not here to. What part of these videos is I am not here to preach. I am not here to state that I am the pinnacle point where I'm standing on a pedestal. There is no way. I'm a sinner like everybody else. But God Himself is a Purusharth. He is that divine being, that pure being. And He gives the intellect to those individuals so we can know what is right and wrong. We do know what is right and wrong. We still continue to do wrong. But that is the difference between a human and an animal. Where an animal lives according to instinct, we can live according to intellect. The next definition of Purakh is God is the one who assists. He is the one who assists all. The next definition of Purakh is it's a term used to describe a being. O Purakh Thikani, A Purakh Thikani. It's a term used to describe different beings. So you can describe a human being based on the word Purakh. It's within Gurbani it says Purakha Birkha Tirtha Tatha Mega Katha Keta. So it talks about where in Gurbani Purakha is people or beings. So that's the ninth definition of Purakh. Like I said, in this video we're going to go through it quite quickly, but there are 17 definitions were given by Sant Gyani Gurbachan Singh Ji within the Tika written by Sant Gyani Kartar Singh Ji. So I just want to cover those. The 10th definition of Purakh is the husband. As I said earlier, that we see God as the husband to the soul of every individual. So here the term again is husband. Earlier on it was male, that God is seen as a male form. Here now He is seen as the form of the husband. The next definition, the 11th definition, again is Purakh is used for a male being. Eka Purakh Savainar. Binapir Purakh Majani. Again, the term of a being, a model being, is Purakh. So this is not where we're talking about all men, all everything. We're talking about the model individual who is morally correct, does everything. That is considered Purakh. Purakh is a term used for the sadhus, for the saints. Satgur ke akhiya jo chale, so Satpurkh pala pala. So it's so Satpurkh pala pala. The Satpurkh, the true being, the individual, the sadhu, is there for the benefit of others. So that's one of the definitions. So this is where you'll see those people who believe in saints going, Satpurkha, this person is true, he's a true individual, he's morally correct. Problem is that term is abused a lot now as well. You get those people who are not righteous in any way, not saints in any way, do not do any japa or puja, but they consider themselves Satpurkhs as well. Unfortunately, we live in Kali Yuga where people are going to abuse religious material, religious definitions, and use it for themselves, and attach people to themselves rather than to Waheguru. So that's the term used there for the sadhus. Purakh is a term used for the gurus as well. The 13th definition is for the guru. Satguru Purakh Agamaha. So Satguru is the being, Purakh. So it's mentioned there. 14 is the definition given for the Satguru. Not Satguru, sorry, for Waheguru. The definition of Purakh stands for God Himself. And as I said, we've talked about how God is complete. These sorts of qualities are only for God. You cannot use these qualities for everybody. And which Karta Purakh Kholoya. Karta, that's talking about God is Himself within His creation. Another definition, 15th definition, is for the Atma, for the soul. Purakh is the complete essence, the individual soul that is looking to merge within the Supreme Soul, is the Atma, is the soul. And it's loosely translated as soul. I'd prefer to just consider it as the Atma and leave it as the Atma. Atma, Paramatma, those are the two things, the individual soul and the supreme soul, the Atma. And that's another definition for Purakh. 16 is the term used for God, who is Vyapak. Vyapak means omnipresent. He is ever present and omnipresent. And Shuddh is the pure, omnipresent form of the formless God. That is the name of Purakh. That is the definition of Purakh. And then the last term is Purakh is used to define Akal Purakh, the timeless God. And so it's uttered as, I know people go, well, you said Shuddh Brahm and Akal Purakh and Purakh and Satguru. Well, these are all the same. They have subtle differences. So when you're describing, it's like the 99 names given within Islam, Allah, Rahim, Kareem, these are all different names but for the same God. What it does is each name gives a different attribute for God. One is merciful, one is a sustainer, one is this. And here again, Shuddha Brahm means that this God is formless, completely pure. Akal Purakh means this God is timeless. So when Maya is created, this God takes a form which is exempt from time and remains distinct from time. So that is the last definition of Purakh. And I know we have gone over those quite quickly. And I know I've already had somebody ask me to talk a lot slower. But in order to condense these videos down into the size that they are and the length that they are, I unfortunately had to talk quite quick there. So like I said, the last definition is Akal Purakh. Bani Mahapurkh ki. This is the Bani of the great beings. This is Akal Purakh. It's his. Today, that's where we're going to leave this video at Akal Purakh. And next time we'll continue on with Nirpal. So, Kamalpreet, if you just recite the Mool Mantra and then we'll finish off with the invocations. And we'll leave it there.
Ik Oankar Satnam Karta Purakh Nirpal Nirvair Akal Murth Ajuni Saipang Gurprasad Japa Ad Sach Jugad Sach है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह हे गोविंद हे गोपाल हे दयाल लाल प्राणनाथ नाथ सके दीन दर्द निवार हे समर्थ अगम पूर्ण मोहे में अतार अंधकूप महाभयान नानक पारे उतार आए प्रभु शरणागति कृपा निध दयाल एक अखर हर मन वास्ते नानक होत निहाल एक अखर हर मन वास्ते नानक होत निहाल वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।